If you feel inside of you that you want to speak, or you want to do a podcast, or you want to write a book, now is the time to take that risk. You can take away women's rights.
Yep.
You can take away women's access to education. You can strip them of so many things, but you cannot take their voice. That is within our control.
Welcome to Her Voice Impacts. I'm Daniela Ion, and I finally get to have a moment with Chelsea. Thank you so much for being here. And we're doing some great things together through Logictry. And I want you to tell me all about it and what the vision is and why it's so impactful right now.
So Daniela and I had been talking about doing something to really tell the stories and the expertise of women around the world for a very long time. But as we were kind of in these convenings and spaces, and we do a lot of kind of historical convenings, so we've held youth in the Vatican, we've brought families into Parliament, we've held things with public inside and outside of the UN. But I kept hearing kind of the same message over and over again, which is, where are the women?
Where are the women?
And what are they kind of feeling? What are they expressing? And I think we chatted about this. I actually saw Anne Hathaway's take from International Women's Day, and they were grappling with, like, do we celebrate right now? And that really hit me hard on not just, like, do we even have International Women's Day, but do we celebrate given everything that's going on?
Yes.
And I shared with you her quote, which was something like, you know, what happens if we act when they're expecting our silence? And I think that's the catalyst for all of this. Absolutely. Is just working with Logictry. We're trying to showcase the top experts around the world, and Her Voice Impact is trying to tell the best stories around the world. And I think now is the moment so that no girl wakes up thinking, you know, I can't be that scientist or I can't be that activist. And so we just felt like we had to do it now.
Oh my goodness. But what goes on in your brain? Because you're very, like, switched on. You constantly got things going on. How do you execute all these ideas? Because I know that this is not just a passion thing for you. This is your life. This is your life's work. Tell me a little bit about that.
Belief in yourself.
Yeah.
Listening. Actually, I wake up every day thinking not just about what I'm trying to push forward, but have a minute with God and ask, you know, how do you want me to show up today? That keeps me super centered. And then people. Daniela, when you have the right vision and confidence and you're staying in tune with your spirituality, and then you see the amazingness of humanity and people, you can do anything.
I love what you just said. Stay in tune. How can people stay in tune more? What do they have to do when they see the world is where it is right now and we're trying to keep up? It's like we're in this constant trying to regulate our system. What can we do to bring that peace?
I think everyone is asking for more leaders.
It's okay. It's great.
And I have a feeling that even at South by Southwest, they have so many people, you can feel the energy that are right there to step into their calling, into that leadership position. And I just think we need to kick them into it.
Is that an Austin thing? Kick him into it. Kick him into it.
Leadership. Yeah, it's like take the jump, right? Take the leap. Like, if you feel inside of you that you want to speak, or you want to do a podcast, or you want to write a book.
What's stopping you?
Now is, everyone's in a reset. Everyone is under-resourced. Everyone is having to get creative. Now is the time to take that risk.
I totally agree with you. And we're running a campaign at the moment, Women in Decision, and I love this because I want to hear your aspect of it as well, and inviting more women to speak up, because we're inviting you to speak up, right?
So this is a bit controversial, but so with my PhD work, I looked at next-gen women inheritors over the last 10 years. And so many times I hear that painful statistic about 2% of venture capital,
Yes.
2% of venture capital. And I say this actively on panels. I actually hate that framing because what it does is it reinforces this narrative that all women are competing
And we're in lack.
and we can't, get the resources. So why I really believed in this partnership with Zant, Her Voice
Yes.
Impact, Logictry, Iona.
Yeah.
It's actually about shifting that narrative to who are the women in decision? How do we think about not being from a scarcity mindset, but how do we open up that table? How do we open up rooms? How do we open up stages and realize we're not competing for a set number of 2%? Let's reinvent what capital looks like.
Oh my gosh, you need to write a book about this. This is exactly what we need to hear because so much of it has been emphasized on what you don't have. Yeah, we don't have this and we don't have that. Well, what is it that we actually do have?
Your voice. And that is why when Daniela told me she was starting this project, I was like, you can take away women's rights.
Yep.
You can take away women's access to education. You can take away women's positions in to learn AI. You can strip them of so many things, but you cannot take their voice. That is within our control, and we make the decision on if we stay silent.
Absolutely. And, as we voice who we are as women, what about the younger generation? They need that guidance, don't they, right now? Because so many young women that you've spoken to and I've spoken to want to step up into leadership. But how do they navigate this world right now? How can we help them?
I really loved we co-hosted a panel, and one of the founders that's been really successful, she invented, we talked about this, extend
Yes.
bar, right? So
Yes.
powerful. But on that same panel was a 14-year-old activist and my mentee, Zoya Kalinsky, who's unparalleled in what she's doing and just her confidence in that. But I think the way forward is that intergenerational collaboration and work. And so the other thing that Andrea, the founder of Extend Bar, said is she was there because Sharina, her friend who's a model and had access to this panel and to us, she actually said, hey, Chelsea, I really think there's another voice that needs to be added to this panel. Can I bring this other woman, right?
Wow.
And so I think as we get opportunities, again, switching from that, oh, we only have 2% to how do we get beyond that? It's when you're given the opportunity, who are the young women, who are the other women that need to be in that room, and we have to advocate to get them there.
We have to advocate. And the other thing that Zoya had mentioned to me was the fact that she said, we're ready.
Yeah.
This is a 14-year-old, soon to be 15, saying, hey, I want to step up and I'm ready. And she's got a lot of young women coming forward with her. How are we, because we hold a responsibility here, how are we going to nurture this, I think, accelerated growth, potentially?
I think it's both online and in person.
Yeah.
Like why my husband, put hours of his life into
Yes.
building the Logictry digital platform is because we really believe that there needs to be capturing of expertise and wisdom in different modes than your typical Instagram, right?
Yeah.
And
They're going to move from there.
Exactly. And
Okay.
even like masterclasses, those are great platforms.
Yes.
So the next generation, they want short, they want interactive, they want
Yes.
AI powered, they want all of these things. And I think you'll see a new wave.
New industry,
And I think, dare we say, maybe a new industry.
Yes.
But that also has to have that supportive community in-person connection behind it.
Wow. Okay. So, new platform, a new wave, new voices. This could actually create something globally, what we have never ever seen before, because people are wanting to transform.
Yeah.
And they're not finding where to go, or let's say this, who to trust. That's a big issue,
Trust is huge.
right? So how do we bring those elements into what you were just saying, into one platform? How do we make that happen? is it through partnerships? Is it through collaborating? What do we got to do? Because I feel like time is of the essence right now,
Yeah, how do you unlock that potential for the next generation, but also ensure that they're entrusted with wisdom and with the mentorship that they need to be successful? And I think it's exactly what you said. It's strategic partnerships.
Yeah.
And if I'm going to say that, we have to model it, right?
Yeah.
And it's collaboration. Women are so great at finding ways to help one another. And I think we have to accelerate that. And the last thing, which we've touched on a little bit, but I often see amazing work in the qualitative space.
Yes.
But if you add a quantitative metric and lens, I think that's what's going to really get us goal-oriented and through. So with Women in Decision, we're playing with this idea.
We have.
And I think we can do it.
We are doing it.
But 1 million women's voices and their stories and their expertise and what they want to say around the world. And I think we can get there.
And we've already started, and we want you to participate in that movement as well, because it's not just our voices, it's every woman's voice that matters, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Chelsea, leave us with something that is going to inspire the women to take action in their purpose right now, wherever they may be in the world. What can you give them? Just maybe a bit of hope, or just something that sparks their spirit again.
I've been feeling this phrase for a very long time, and the phrase that always comes to me every morning is, she can because we will.
Oh, wow.
And I think that comes from, whether you're like me and you're in your 30s or you're 14, there's that just little inner voice that says, can I really do this? Right?
Yeah.
And if every woman just puts it aside and says, I'm going to do this for them so I can,
Wow.
I think that will shift, and also not making the next generation feel like they're entirely in it alone. And I think for every woman right now, we owe it to them to not wait on what we know that we can do.
That is so well said. I want to thank you, Chelsea, for being here. And I can't wait for us to keep working together and bringing more voices forward and seeing massive change and impact.
Thank you, Daniela.